How many times have we told ourselves, I'm going to become a top student, I'm going to get better grades, I'm going to study more this year. But here's the thing, studying more does not automatically mean learning more. Because if you don't study with structure, focus, and intention, more hours can just mean more wasted energy. And I think this is where most students get confused. We grow up believing that the more time we spend sitting at a desk, the more knowledge we gain. But that's not always true. A more realistic truth is this: time spent studying does not always equal real progress. Because if your mind is distracted, if your method is weak, and if your time is badly organized, you can spend hours studying and still learn very little. And that is the reality for most students. It's not that they're lazy, it's not that they're not intelligent enough, it's that no one really teaches them how to study in a way that actually works. So in this video, I want to talk about what really makes someone a top student. Not just someone who studies a lot, but someone who studies with purpose, protects their focus, and knows how to organize their life in a way that actually produces results. Because in the end, being a top student is not about looking busy. It's about knowing how to turn your time into real progress. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is direction. Because honestly, I think this is where a lot of students get stuck. A lot of students do not have a motivation problem. They have a direction problem. And that sounds small, but it changes everything. Because, let's be honest, saying I want better grades sounds good. Saying I want to be more disciplined sounds good. Saying I want to become a top student sounds good. But what does that actually mean? Like, really think about it. What does that look like on a random Tuesday? When you're tired, when you don't feel like it, when your phone is right there, when school already drained you, when your energy is low. That's where the truth shows up. Because vague goals create vague effort. And if your effort is vague, your results will usually be vague too. That's why I believe this so strongly, every single time. Because motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired. Some days you feel unstoppable. And other days you just don't. And if your whole academic life depends on how you feel that day, then your results will always go up and down too. But direction is different. Direction says, I know where I'm going. I know what kind of student I want to become. And I'm not making all my decisions based on mood anymore. And I really want you to hear me on this. Top students are not always the most motivated students. A lot of the time, they are just more guided. They are less random. They stop asking, do I feel like studying today? And they start asking, does this move me closer to the person I want to become? And that shift is powerful. Because now you are not just reacting to emotion. Now you are acting from identity. And from my experience, that is when things start to change. Because when your goal becomes personal, your discipline becomes deeper. You stop studying only for the next test. You stop studying only because your teacher told you to. You stop studying only because you feel guilty. You start studying because it is connected to the future you actually care about. And this is not just mindset talk. Research on self-regulated learning keeps showing the same pattern. When students learn to plan, monitor, and regulate how they study, their academic performance tends to improve. One 2021 meta-analysis of 49 studies with 5,786 university students, found positive effects overall, including gains in academic performance and self-regulated learning strategies. So that matters, because it means top students are not just trying harder. They are managing themselves better. They know what they are doing. They know why they are doing it. And when something is not working, they adjust. That is a completely different level of seriousness. So if you want a visual way to think about this, imagine a thermometer of commitment. And ask yourself honestly, where are you really? Not where you wish you were. Not where you say you are. Where are you actually? Maybe you're at 20. You talk about success, but your habits are weak. Maybe you're at 40. You try, but only when you feel motivated. Maybe you're at 60. You are more serious now, but you still lose too many days to distraction. Maybe you're at 80. You're consistent and it's starting to show. Or maybe you're at 100. Your actions finally match your ambition. And I think one of the most uncomfortable truths for students is this. A lot of people have dreams at 100 and habits at 27. And I'm not saying that to be harsh. I'm saying that because I think some students need to hear it. You cannot keep saying you want an exceptional future while still living in a casual, random, inconsistent way. At some point, you have to choose. Do you want the fantasy of being great, or do you want the structure that actually makes greatness possible? And this is where the second example matters. 3 Systematic Review in Frontiers in Psychology found a clear relationship between future-oriented thinking and positive academic outcomes. Students who were more connected to future goals tended to show higher academic engagement, and the review concluded that guiding students toward future goals may improve both engagement and performance. So direction is not just emotional, it changes behavior. It changes what you do when you are tired. It changes what you tolerate. It changes what you say yes to. It changes how seriously you take an ordinary day. And maybe that is the shift some students need. Maybe the problem is not that you are lazy. Maybe the problem is that your future still feels too abstract. Because when your future feels real, your effort becomes more serious. When your future feels personal, your habits start to matter more. And that is why step 1 is not download more apps, buy prettier stationery, or wait for a better mood. Step 1 is this. Get clear about where you are going and why it matters so much to you. Because when your direction is clear, discipline stops feeling like punishment. It starts feeling like alignment. And that is when you stop being a student who is just trying to survive and start becoming someone who is building themselves on purpose. Because let's be real, this is probably the part that matters most. If you're a student, there's a big chance you know this feeling. You sit at your desk, you look at everything you need to do, and deep down, you know you could be doing better. But somehow, you still feel stuck. You want to focus. You want to be disciplined. You want to become one of those students who actually seem to have their life together. But then real life happens. You get tired, you get distracted, you procrastinate again. And then, on top of everything, you feel guilty. And maybe you felt that too. That weird frustration of knowing you have potential, but not feeling fully aligned with it. And I think that's the part people don't talk about enough. A lot of students are not just stressed because of school. They're stressed because deep down, they know they're capable of more. And they're not fully living up to that yet. And that hurts. Because after a while, it stops being just about homework, exams, or grades. It becomes personal. It becomes the frustration of looking at yourself and thinking, I know I could be better than this. Real talk, I think that's one of the hardest feelings as a student. Not just being tired, not just having a bad week, but slowly becoming someone who stops trusting their own words. You say you'll start, and you don't. You say you'll focus, and you get distracted again. You say you want more from life, but your habits keep pulling you backwards. And after a while, the problem is not just productivity anymore. The problem becomes your relationship with yourself. Because here's the thing, becoming a great student is not really about becoming someone who studies all the time. It's about becoming someone who can trust themselves. Like, really think about that. Your goal is not just to study more. Your goal is to rebuild self-trust. Because once you trust yourself again, everything changes. When you say, I'm going to study for 30 minutes, and you actually do it, that matters. When you say, I'm going to put my phone away, and you actually do it, that matters. When you say, I'm going to stop living so randomly, and your actions finally start matching that, that matters. Those are not small moments. That is how character is built. And maybe this is the shift students need to hear. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. I want that line to really stay with you. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. Because every time you choose to focus, every time you choose to prepare, every time you choose the hard thing over the easy distraction, you are sending yourself a message. You are saying, my future matters. My goals matter. My life matters. And that is powerful. I also think students need to stop chasing the image of being perfect. Because perfection sounds beautiful, but in real life, it destroys people. A lot of students think being a top student means never getting tired, never procrastinating, never doubting themselves, never struggling. But that's not real. Because let's be real. Real excellence is much less glamorous than that.